Bend the knee! Valor Mogolas, everybody. Don Raven back again with another video. This time I'm going to be talking about whether or not a bastard can legitimately be the king of Westeros. So, in Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode number 10, The Winds of Winter, we see Jon Snow proclaimed as King in the North by his new loyal bannermen. Now, while many people thought that this was a great move, they thought Jon Snow was such a great and deserving character, there were others out there who thought, hey, you know what? This makes absolutely no sense, as Jon Snow is a bastard and his sister, Sansa Stark, is actually a legitimate child of Ned and Catelyn. And why should she not be crowned Queen in the North rather than Jon, who is not legitimate at all and should have absolutely no claim? Now, many people have pointed out that in regular history, as well as a Song of Ice and Fire history, they don't think that nobles would have gone for such a thing, but I beg to differ, and I have evidence with me. So, let's first take a look at the case of Benedict Rivers, who was later known as Benedict the Bold, then Benedict the Just, and then King Benedict Justman I. He was the king of the Trident and also the founder of House Justman. Now, he is mentioned in the World of Ice and Fire. He was a king who ruled during the Andal invasion. He was actually a bastard from both the houses of Blackwood and Bracken, who became a knight known as Benedict the Bold. The Blackwoods became his first supporters, and then after that, the Brackens, and he was able to defeat all the petty kings in the Riverlands, and he was later crowned as King Benedict Justman the First. So, here is just one example of someone who actually was born a bastard and later became a king in his own right with sworn bannermen, and people really did not oppose his rule. Now, another more notable example from the World of Ice and Fire is Damon Waters, who would later be known as Damon the First Blackfire. So, he was the bastard son of Aegon IV, also known as Aegon the Unworthy. He's a guy who became knighted at 12 years old and was given the King's Sword, known as Blackfire, for which he decided to make his royal name. Now, you might be thinking, well, hey, but he was never actually the king. Yeah, well, okay. He never sat the actual Iron Throne, but he pretty much had nearly half the realm backing him. They all knew that he was a bastard, but he got legitimized by his father on his father's deathbed, and people liked him so much that they were willing to say, you know what, I don't care if he's a bastard, he's my king from this day until his last day. And this spawned the Blackfire Rebellion. Now, that rebellion ended on the Red Grass Field when he was cut down by his brother, Brynden Rivers, and then Bloodraven subsequently cut down both of his twin sons before scattering his forces to the winds. Now, we also have 4 subsequent Blackfire rebellions after this, and a possible 6th silent Blackfire rebellion, but that remains to be seen. But the point that I'm trying to make here is, you have someone who was definitely a bastard, there's absolutely no doubt about it, and people were still willing to follow him anyway, and willing to proclaim him as their king, regardless of his status of birth. Now, if you even want to take it to real world examples of bastards who actually became kings. Now, you have one person who is talked about very, very much in terms of being a great warrior, a great general in battle, and someone who actually unified England under his reign, and that is William the Conqueror. So you have William the Conqueror, who was also known as William the Bastard. He was a French nobleman who actually crossed the English Channel in 1066 AD in order to take over England. He unified it under his reign and became known as William the First of England, also known as William the Conqueror. And he was a guy who everyone knew he was a bastard. There's absolutely no way around that. But they still decided, hey, you know what? He won the throne. He's the king. He got it fair and square. Cool. Another one, we have Bernard of Italy, who was the illegitimate son of an illegitimate son of Charlemagne. And he became the king of the Lombards in 810 AD. You also have Vladimir the Great, who was the king of Kiev in 978 AD, and he was another bastard. You also have Paul I of Russia, who was also a bastard who became king of Russia. And I mean, look, these are just some examples of men who were bastards, who wound up taking the thrones of their respective countries and wound up having legitimate status among their people, despite the fact that they were either lowborn or bastard-born, and people knew it and accepted it. So, hey, for all of you guys out there who are scoffing at the fact that Jon Snow is now king, I've given you not only historical examples from the world of Ice and Fire, but also historical examples from real life itself. So, there you have it, folks. Listen, I'll be back with another video. You guys let me know what you think about this one. And as always, rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, come back for more. That's been my time, and this is Don Raven in the Dream, saying Vala Doharis.